Hey, hey, welcome back to another RSG Lunch Stream. I'm Ranger J 1999, one of the RSG crew. Glad to have everybody aboard. What is the lunch stream? Well, that's where we just hang out with you good folks for the next hour. Do some roster reviews, have just general fun, answer some of your questions, just have a good old time. Something for you to listen to during your lunch break at work to give you something to entertain you with during the day. Joining me, we got quite a lot of people joining us today. Let's just go around. First of all, we got the big deal himself, Grande Patron. He was in the middle of moving.
I am actively in the middle of moving. I am trying to clean out a storage unit, and we have packers at our house, and my wife is going crazy, and my 3 children are like, if I ever see another piece of paper I have to shred again, it'll be too soon. Literally, my brand new 10-year-old, because, day before yesterday was her birthday, 10 years old, Curly Patron. She's like, Daddy, look, my fingers are bleeding from, shredding all this paper in the shredder. And I'm like, I know, honey. Thanks for doing it. You're a trooper, honey.
I would have been like, shut up and keep shredding. Suck it up. Wipe some dirt on it and keep going.
Back to work.
Child labor never hurt me at all.
No,
that's all I'd
it
say.
It hurt any of us. All right, let's introduce everybody else. We got Dr. Finn, medicine woman here.
Grande, don't forget to pack the fudge.
Hi. Jesus.
God.
Rutabaga.
Yeah, no, I think we're past that point.
No, I'm actually talking about chocolate. I don't know what the hell. You
Oh,
guys
yeah, I
are
don't
dirty.
know. Yeah, Dr. Finn, you're a bad person. Shut up. Also joining us is who will be monitoring chat and scooping up all your questions. It's the soulless one, Stanley Red.
Hello there.
Hello there. We also have Grim the Mechanic.
Wasabi.
We also have the lovely Dana Dissett with us today.
Hi everyone, greetings from Florida.
Hey. We also have Stoner Jedi here, I believe.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Stoner. Someone who's actually is stoned all the time is Chrome Cobra, who's here as well.
Hey, I like fudge. What are you trying to say about fudge?
I rest my case. And join us, last but not least, the cheese asshole himself, and I'll explain what I mean by that, Mike Hunt.
Ranger?
Wait a minute, I thought you left the room with the... Get away from there, Mike!
No, you throw cheese in, I walk in this room.
Oh my God,
It
God.
doesn't matter. Just
The
say
rampage!
something. No, don't say that. Okay.
Wow.
Oh my.
I don't know whose room that was.
You
I'm
sure did.
sat
That
in
was
a library.
That was
Everyone's
a pack
looking at me
of
going,
English
"Shh."
teenagers, and it was awful.
Hey, so Mike Hunt is joining us live from Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Actually, you're not far off there. 2 of them are going off to study.
Oh.
The Ministry of Magic.
That's it. Leaving.
And for those who don't know, Mike Hunt looks just like Mr. Weasley.
He does.
Mr. Weasley. Except blonde instead of red. But it's hilarious.
If you haven't seen the when we did, Mike was very kind to do a video for the suicide prevention. No, you did a video for our 100th episode, and
that is my only reveal.
Yeah, and we were very appreciative of that. What I'm not appreciative of is we fought BHG All Stars.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we lost by 64 points. And that's because they cheesed the ever-loving shit out of us. It was unbelievable. We were so baffled what was going on because, we're going into each zone and we're using the counters and we're holding back because we're like, okay, it's coming. That trail wall's coming. We know it's around the corner. We got to the next zone. Okay, it's got to be after this. Okay, there's got to be. They're holding everything back to the last second. And they're like, okay, and we get to the final 2 walls. Finally get to them. We're like, wait, what the hell is it? What the nice Phoenix? What the? And they missed by 64 because they had all their arsenal, and Oh,
yeah.
so we lost by 64.
Yeah. I must have. I did get the last kill.
Well, that's
Snow
fine.
something
Mm.
with your naughty night sister backline. Yeah, huh.
But we're sitting there like, wait a minute, and then you guys started clearing. It's like, how do they get through our shit so fast? Because they cheesed. We were like, God damn it! Because we were scratching our head, like, what the hell is going on? And they were like, oh no, they didn't. And because we were using counters to the teams that did have our defense, so we had Phoenix to use the right counters. So we had one or two matches. It came down to like 10 matches, maybe 6 matches, where we killed one per turn.
It was.
But
it was
I
close.
just looked at that like, you sneaky little bastards. I hope you choked on your tea.
Sorry, I did a trade-off. I made the drinks. They clear the kitchen. I disappear upstairs.
Right. Get far away from there. I can't handle it anymore.
Save everybody's ears because the eldest has turned up as well.
Oh God! Run, Mike.
Yes, 4.
Oh
yeah.
God.
Yeah. You can probably hear them because they're in. Like,
oh Jesus! Oh my God!
They're about 100 foot away from me.
Oh, the humanity. Even at 100 feet, we can still hear them pretty decently.
You would think, wouldn't you?
Oh God! The humanity. All right, so so
I will mute the tea.
That's fine. So if you have questions, go ahead and get them in. We're going to go ahead and get to our roster review. Dr. Finn, who are we reviewing today?
I'll let Dana introduce him.
Hey, yeah, Dana's.
Oh, yay. Yeah, we have my guild member today, Phelan from Empire Vanguard, and that guild is part of the Empire Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my guild that I run, and we are awesome. So yeah, we have Phelan's roster to review today.
There you go. All right, so what is old Phelan looking for there, Dr. Finn?
So he's looking mainly for Zeta priority. So he said he wants to do a Jedi team. He's looking at his Night Sisters and seeing whether or not Mother Talzin needs a Zeta. His Wampa's going to be 7-star soon. He's working on his Treya. With all these characters, he's trying to figure out where he should put his Zetas, as well as some teams for territory wars that he can put together. So those are his 2 focus. Zetas and territory wars.
I asked him to let me know how many Zetas he has, if he has any. He said he does not. He is halfway to another one, but the last ones I think he used on Treya and Scion. I think that's what he said.
No, that makes sense.
Let me go back. Yeah.
So in regards to the Jedi question, it depends on what you're going to be, if you're going to be using them in anything, and it depends on where your other teams are at. So let's, like he mentioned, Night Sisters. So let's look at Night Sisters. If Gigi will cooperate with me, it's not cooperating with me. God damn it! No, I don't want to look at mine. I'm looking at my
Night
profile.
Sisters are.
Thank God.
Are
Okay, let's
good,
just go back.
But they need gear. I would say
Jesus Christ.
Well, he's got a Saj double Zeta'd.
Yeah,
that's
you want to read off
he
his
did have
Zetas?
Mother Talzin, but you need Plague Bearer on Talzin to make Night Sisters work.
I mean, they work without it, but yeah, if you're going for
You really
a raid
do need
team
it.
or something, you need it.
Talzin's only 10. Yeah, you need the Zeta on Talzin, and you need her gear 12. I mean, Talia needs to get the gear. I mean, they've got to be geared. Old Daka, I mean, they're fine to gear 11, but especially with the weak zombie, you need to finish your you need to finish the gear on them. You got a weak zombie, that's fine. But yeah, Plague Bearer on Talzin to round off that team is good. Now the Zeta on Daka is really nice if you want to go that route, but it's not required. But the 2 on Asajj and the 1 on Talzin, in my opinion, are the 3 that you need to make the Night Sisters really disgusting. I mean, Daka is just icing on the cake if you want to add her as well, but I mean, your team looks solid, but when it comes to Zetas, you've got to have a plan and you've got to have a focus, right? Even with all the new shinies that they're putting out there, like say Bastila and some other ones. If you're not in a position to have the team in the first place, then it's a future farm. If you're in a pretty decent position to where you can set that team up and you can use your next Zeta on them, then yeah, you can. But you have to make sure that your arena's set and your other teams are set, because that's where you have to kind of look at it. So I would say that Talzin's maybe one that you want to look at for your Zeta. Do you want us to look at all his territory war teams combinations, or?
We'll start looking through them and see what characters he has and everything. Just going through his Zetas really quick. So the Zetas that he has are double Zeta Asajj. He has Roll with the Punches on BB-8. He has It Binds All Things on CLS. He has the uniques of Nihilus, Scion, and Treya. He has Emperor Palpatine lead. He has Finn lead. He has Veers, Han, Strength Flows on Hermit Yoda. He has Old Ben. He has double Zeta R2 and double Zeta on Jedi Training Rey with the Leader and Insight.
And what were the Sith you said that he had? Scion,
Sith,
Treya?
he had uniques of Nihilus, Scion, and Treya, and he had Emperor Palpatine lead.
That's fine.
So he may want to consider saving one for Treya lead if there's a lot of Jedi popping up, because Bastila is a really easy counter to Emperor Palpatine team. Unfortunately, you can be 3-star and counter the Emperor Palpatine team. So
yeah, I mean, let's look at your Jedi. I mean, it sounds like your Sith are the way you need to go. You've got Treya, so why not use her? That'd probably be the top priority for your Zeta if that's the team you're going to rock and roll with. Yeah, Sith look really good. The team that I run is Treya, Sith Trooper, Darth Nihilus, Scion, and Thrawn. But there's other people some people use Nas. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can go, but Treya lead is really disgusting for Sith. And having that T-tank counter protecting Nihilus and your other offensive piece, whichever you're going to use, is a really effective team. It seems like that would be a better route to go, because let's look at your Jedi. Let's see what we got here. I mean, you could go the Jedi team. I mean, you'd probably have to get Ezra to at least gear 11. You got Hermit Yoda at 11, but our Master's 11, Kenobi's 12, Basila's only gear 8, but she's 4 stars. I mean, you can run that team if you want to. I just think Treya is the meta right now. Basila's a counter. You'd have to get
but not to Treya. She's a counter to Palpatine.
To Palpatine, yeah, not Treya. I mean, I see a Bastila team, I'm like, well, that's a win, because I go in there with my Treya lead. Once you get through their initial barrage of stuff, because the AI, I just don't think it does it correctly, you win. I mean, it's that simple. Even Palpatine can beat that team. It's not. The chances are more stacked on Bastila's team's favor. So you're going to have to kind of make an assessment of what you're seeing in your shard. If you're seeing a lot of Treya teams, I would not recommend going Bastila. However, if you're seeing still a lot of Emperor Palpatines in your shard, I don't know how old your shard is, and not a lot of Treya-led teams, then you could really be effective with the Bastila team, and then kind of have your Treya team in the background, as to switch back and forth. But I just think that your best money is going to be your Treya team. Does anybody disagree with that, or?
No, I don't disagree.
And Bastila lead, if you do the Zeta on that one, does work well in Territory Wars too, to kind of bring it around for that.
Oh yeah, having a Jedi team like that for defense is fantastic. They regenerate health, they regenerate protection. I mean, that's the ideal team that you want for defense. With Hermit Yoda,
Well, it's a good, easy team to get through palp walls too. A lot of guilds set up palp walls, so.
No, yeah.
I mean, you could take mediocre Jedi, and some of these smaller guilds are able to finally bust through that wall where they weren't able to possibly before.
Yeah.
She is immense. I ran it against Palps, and it was like, whoa, that was quick.
That's because you had nothing on defense.
I mean,
shut up, Mike.
Gear 9, have gear 10, gear 11 Grandmaster Yoda. I mean, a lot of people have those even kind of newerish players. So, I mean, Ezra, everybody's got Ezra.
Yeah.
I think my Grandmaster's got a Taru, the one that gives him a second go, and I zeted just the other day his special. The
once you get the Zetas on that team, it's really, really good. I mean, Ezra, but you got to get Ezra gear 12 because he just doesn't hit hard. Now, once you get him to gear 12, then he starts really laying. He lays some pain out there, and it just wears you down. That team just wears you down. The only counter is Treya's team because they can remove the buffs and counter and what the Jedi are trying to do. It's still a pain in the ass to deal with. It still takes me 3 minutes to kill that team because it just constantly just protects. Like, God damn it!
Yeah, you got to control Grandmaster Yoda. He's the one you have to...
Yeah, I always burn down Grandmaster Yoda, then I burn down Ezra.
He's such a pain to get to, especially...
Well, you have to... Once Sion goes, then it's a done deal, right? Unless, for some reason, he's stunned. The AI stuns your Sion. But even then, I use my Throne to speed him up. It's like, no, I'm getting rid of all those buffs, and then I just burn down Grandmaster Yoda.
That's what makes the GK on that team so hard. His auto tone. I think it's a lot easier with old.
Well, that's why you've got. That's why I wrote Thrawn, because you've got Trey who can isolate him, or you fracture him, right? And then I usually like fracture, and then I'll isolate. The target I'm going after, so I can just keep burning them, right? And I like to keep isolate or fracture on Yoda as well because I don't want him getting any buffs, and I don't want him spreading them out there. So but that tray allows you to do that. It gives you a lot of flexibility to take on the Jedi team. Now, Palpatine lead teams a lot harder because you're missing out on a lot of shit, right? It can be done. I've done it with the Palpatine lead team, but it's a lot harder. And if RNG goes against you, which it can easily do, like I've had it where my Palpatine just got annihilated before I could even get a turn. I was like, God damn it. It's like, oh my God.
Well, it's smart on CG's part too. Like they released a marquee tune that almost everybody's able to get 3-star, and this enables the free-to-play, newer type players to actually run high in arena. But what they did to counter that, they brought Palp out, which brought the Whales Krakens who had everything to the top. They brought Bastila out to counter the Palp, but now the Whales and Krakens got Trey, which is still going to keep them in the top, but it keeps the new players free-to-play happy because they're like, oh God, I got the top 50 with Bastila. I'm kicking the shit out of Palp teams now. So,
right.
Like it was a smart move on CG's part to how they've got everything, like the meta's kind of shifting with each other. It's really nice.
Yeah, I agree.
And arenas, it's different. Even the Trade teams have different, there's two pieces to them. Some got Throne Nest, some got Wampa Sith Trooper. Like, I love arena variety right now.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit more balanced. You've got some options if you don't have certain characters that you can focus on one team or the other. Let's look for territory wars. Let's just kind of go through your roster in general. Let's look at First Order. We'll look at this team here. First Order is a team you can use on defense. You need to get your characters as gear. So that's a team that you could eventually... I would do Trail Lead first, then I would finish your Night Sister team with the next Zeta on getting Plague Bearer for Talzin. It will really help you out in the long term. Plus, that's a team you can use in the Heroic Sith Raid, right? You've got the pieces to do that. And Plague Bearer, just having all the components for the Night Sister team for Phase 4 will really help you out. Now, First Order is still a really good defensive team. You've got the pieces. 7-star, you just need to get them gear. So I would go ahead and next would be your First Order team, possibly. Let's look at your troopers. Yeah, troopers need some love. Yeah, especially Death Trooper, you need to get him to gear 12. But you need to get the other ones to gear 11. Colonel Stark definitely needs some gear. Mainly because of Dark Side territory battles. Trust me. I went there with the gear 11 team and got blitzed and destroyed in that special mission. Other than that, they're phenomenal at Gear 11. I have no problem using them anywhere else when I'm good. They're really good in territory wars against Phoenix teams, Rebel teams, things of that nature, because they get bonuses, and once they start going and they start maiming and killing, they're a ridiculous team to have. It's a good offensive team to have. Let's see what we got. I think you looked at everything else. For where his level is right now, I mean, that's a lot to work on right there. I mean, does anybody else have anything that he maybe should look at?
I mean, it's...
Rogue One definitely needs some love, but that's a team later on. You can... There's components that you need to have. Chirrut you need for the
Chirrut,
yeah, Chirrut's a priority. You need to finish your farm on Baze. He's an amazing tank. Yeah, the Rogue One needs some love.
I mean, Baze just gear up even more. Even at 4-star with Gear 11, you can put him on a team with Chirrut, and it works well on offense and defense.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's just that duo that does really well. So I would just start gearing up your Baze right now. Yeah, I think it's to what you're saying, Ranger. He has a few different directions he can focus on, and whatever it is, just stick with it.
Yeah, so I would say Zetas we've already talked about. Teams, I would go ahead and finish your Night Sister on the. Well, they just need the Zeta, but finish those gear first. Then go finish your Trooper team, especially Death Trooper, right? Then I would work on First Order, then go to Rogue One. You need to finish your farm on Baze and Chirrut. Chirrut mainly just you need to get into Gear 12. Baze, you need to get him the stars and gear because that's a component that you're going to use in a lot of different areas. The other Rogue One members, it's fine. This is more of a light side territory battle, but you can take these pieces and add them to other places unless you just go full Rogue One team. But you know, I've got Gear 12. The only thing I don't have is a Gear 12 K2SO on my Rogue One team now. I think Cassian's still 11, but I'm going to get him to Gear 12 quickly here. But they're really, really solid. They can help you in a lot of ways. So I think that's where he is. I mean, is there anything else you want us to look at? I mean, those are kind of the path that we're kind of recommending that you go towards.
He's in the chat, so if there's anything else, yeah. He said he's been farming Baze. He doesn't. He said don't even look at his bounty hunters.
That's all right.
Bounty hunters are a late game.
Yeah, that's way later.
Yeah. So if there's anything else you want us to look at, let us know, Phelan. You're in the right direction. Obviously, you're just kind of building up your different squads and everything. Your Zetas are in a good position as well, for the most part. You have Zetas on all reasonable characters and everything like that. So I think if you focus on your Treya, you'll be in a good spot.
All right. Anybody else?
No.
Guess no. Maybe so.
I think that's it.
All right. Well,
Okay.
if you have more questions, Phelan, you know where to find us. You can come join us in our Discord, and we'll be more than glad to help you out answer any other questions. That's what we do, right? So let's just get to some questions. Not like going in the game right now. I mean, that's the show.
Yeah, no new characters or ships or anything. So nothing to really talk about.
We can go back and look at the cheese crap that Mike pulled with his guild. That's a smart strategy because we weren't expecting it.
We will have a lot to discuss tonight, so make sure you guys join us at 8 p.m.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot going on.
Nightly stream.
Yeah. So.
Our weekly night stream for Galaxy.
Mike got all quiet. Mike, what's going on with you?
Oh, nothing. I've just realised before I get onto YouTube that my alt hasn't had a go at the Tier 5 Sith raid. So I'm just throwing in some Night Sisters before I hop on the chat.
Okay. There you go.
That's
priorities.
All right. Let's see here. Go ahead and let's start getting some questions in.
Bjorn Rodiger. Question, Ranger and Mike. How do you feel about your territory war? Greetings from BHG Ernie.
You guys are all a bunch of cheesy bastards. Smart. I give you credit for the win. It was smart. Y'all some cheese bitches, man. Goddamn. I was talking with Shields last night, and he's like, "What's happening?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I mean, because the last one was a really close match, and it was really good, and we were expecting the same kind of setup. So, you guys, I give you credit for completely throwing us off because we were just holding back, like, when's the shit coming? And then it never came. We're like, oh, really?
We've got some good strategists, and we switch rota on who runs Territory War.
Yeah, I think our mistake was we didn't realize it sooner. I started suspecting after the first couple that there was maybe this was a possible cheese strat. I shouldn't say. I don't know if cheese is the right word. No, it's cheese. I can't come up with something. I can't. I'm trying to. I can't. But because for each zone we were using the proper counters, and one or two and it came down to like, I'm doing the math right now. It came down to like 6 to 10 matches where we just didn't get the 20, basically, where we had instead of the first victory, we had the second one. And that's because we were using the counters to that team, specifically thinking we had to hold back our heavy hitting team. So in that way, it was really smart. But it's like, God damn it.
Yeah, it was. I was a bit miffed as when I was going through what went where. So, oh, really? Okay.
Well, the first two zones. First was I think it was First Order, and the other one was Phoenix, and we're kind of like, okay, crew makes sense, but Phoenix? Okay, maybe they're just, something. Then we got to the next zone, we're like, wait a minute. Well, and I was sitting there like, I was convinced, I'm like, those back walls, man, it's going to be trash, it's going to be all kinds of shit, we're going to have to, like, slog our way through. And we opened up the middle, we're like, troopers? What the hell? What the hell is this?
Yeah, it was it was a bit mixed up.
Yeah. So, all right, next question, Sanely.
Arseny Durand. Question: do you recommend selling all 5 gray mods for max credits before they reduce the selling price in the upcoming update, or wait?
I sold all mine. All I have now in my inventory are green it up. And even those I'm going to start selling, because if they don't have a speed, now I'm at that point where it's like, if they don't have speed, I'm just going to start selling everything. I'm going to roll them when it gets cheaper and stuff, just to see what I get. But if they don't have speed, immediately I'm selling them. But I've gotten rid of all my gray mods. As far as I can think, I think I have, yeah. There's no gray mods that I have anymore.
Andrew Wallach. Question: with Treya lead in Arena, I've heard many people say Scion should go before Nihilist than Treya. Doesn't this cause the enemy Nihilist to gain TM, then drain your cooldowns?
Yes. But it's a hit and miss. If you don't have enough debuffs on, then you can miss with his drain, right? It'll still go before you, but if there's no debuffs on, the chances are that you're going to resist it, right? It's the higher the chance to resist it. So, I mean, it's give or take. I kind of do that anyway. We just got $2 from Thane Carrell. He said, why is Ranger giving away BAG strategy publicly? Because they're buttholes.
I actually put in game chat that this morning I had a feeling that you were going to be smug tonight.
I was not the entire time. I wasn't smug because I was like, okay, this could be a really good match like last time. But as we kept going, because at first it was like, okay, we're doing really well, and then I'm like, wait a minute. And as I started realizing it, and I think Shields too was like, son of a bitch. God damn it.
Smug's is the wrong word. Smug
I've never been smug.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, it's the wrong. But I thought that you'd be kind of like, it's like tagging me and
I did tag you. Like, did you? First day, I was like, early on, I was like, did you cheese, you shit? Well, 10 o'clock last night, I think it was early morning your time. So it hit me. I'm like, you filthy bastard.
I gave you a thumbs up winky
I know.
response.
I was like, oh god.
But no, it was immense. It was intense. It was just. I mean, that's when territory wars are fun.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I know yesterday one of the questions was about a 30 million gap, and you know, let's be honest, you're not going to get the opportunity of it's down to who has the cleanest run on the last node, because it's that close.
Well, I mean, it's a smart strategy on your guys' part, because it just means that you guys like made it just efficiency, right? And because you had your top offensive teams, it was much easier for you guys to be efficient, because we were kind of being hesitant with some of our battles, right? And it didn't take many for us, because it's not like we had any battles where it's like, oh, there's 10 defense, right? I mean, you guys had some that were one or that were two. I mean, I think my first order had 2 victories, but we had a little bit more because we were just using the counter to team hold back our big hitters. So, and in that sense, it was brilliant. Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So, did you hit my bounty hunters? I want to know how. Could you ask whoever hit my bounty hunters?
I don't know. I think you were the last one in the zone that had bounty hunters. I was still holding back, so I was looking, and someone else hit you, but I don't remember who took you out on that one.
Because I saw they went for 7. Because I'm interested. I slapped a couple of Gear 12 pieces onto Greedo and IG-88. I was curious.
All right, let's get some more questions.
Yes.
Danilo Papayas, question: in talks to join a guild which is slightly above my current, should I aim higher to get Hermit Yoda and /or Treya shards faster? I am at 2.25 million GP, but no JTR. What guild should I aim for?
That's a tough question to answer.
What do you think, Dave?
I mean, I would, always try to get as much as you can get. In my opinion, I always would go, see what you can get, see who will take you. If you can get lucky enough to get into a guild that's got heroic Sith on farm, and they'll take you in and let you hang there. I mean, that's awesome. I would always try to go for as high as I could get, but then also be realistic. If they say no, we can't take you, then just get in where you can get in. If it's better than where you're at, then that's always a good thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard without JTR. But
what does he say? 2.5 without JTR?
2.25, I think he said, or is it 2.5?
Oh,
2.25.
Well, like a lot of guilds like me, like I recruit up people all the time without JTR. It's just depending. Do you have like the Leia spam team, Chex Mix, Night Sisters? Like I don't have JTR. I'm almost 2.6 without JTR, but I do 7-8 million in the raid. We don't need JTR right now. If you got a guild that's got a lot of JTRs but may need more Chex Mix because that's the other slow phase, it's really only until Greedo one team that really worked in it. So that's the slowest phase for a lot of guilds. So maybe if you've got that and don't have JTR, it's there are guilds that'll take you without JTR.
Yeah.
Well, I for the first time in a long time, I agree with what Hideous is saying in chat. Aim for a guild that fits your play style. Some of the high-end guilds that do heroic Sith have some pretty high requirements. So, if you can manage to find one that your roster will fit in with and fits your play style, you'll be there for a long time and have a lot of fun.
Exactly.
Are you trying to say something, Grim? Is our guild?
He said, quit being a hard ass, Double D. Come on now. Not just playing with you.
What, was I quiet?
No.
You saying we're too hardcore?
Frag Tricks.
Maybe.
Question: should I use my stun gun to Gear 12 JTR or Gear 10 General Kenobi?
Gear 12 JTR. Finish JTR off, then go back and work on Kenobi again.
Stay on target.
Almost
With this song,
there.
Kenobi a little bit longer won't hurt.
Just a little further.
I'm sad that Ugnaught isn't a choice. Next question.
Paul Morgan, question: what is in the works for release over the next few days in events?
G3M4 and Sith Fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, they just put out the kits, and normally they put that out about like 1 or 2 days before. And if you look in the events, there's kind of a gap right now. So possibly even later tonight, we will get the events for the.
Yeah, what they'll do is they'll drop it 5 minutes before the stream tonight. So we're all scrambling trying to figure stuff out before the stream starts.
Yeah, right.
Ski Trooper Califragilisticexpialidocious. Question: what are the best primaries for the triangle and cross on Wampa? His crit chance seems too low for crit damage triangles.
No, it's crit damage.
Yeah.
It's not because his crit chance is low. It's because once he uses his special that's on like a cooldown at the beginning, you have to wait 4 turns, I think it is, then he gives himself crit chance and then becomes a monster. Wampa Wampa.
Mm-hmm. Well said, man. Why can't you talk like that all the time? Goddamn Ugnaught.
Well, it's true.
No, it's not. Shut up.
But yeah, here's the thing. Remember that you have to look at not only the base stats, but also the abilities. We've mentioned this before. When you're trying to figure out crit damage versus offense in terms of maximizing damage, make sure you look at the abilities and stuff that the different characters have. So once Wampa uses the Furious Foe, he gains, I think it's 40% crit chance, something like that. And then, so that's pretty much what you need anyways, regardless of what his base crit chance is. Once you get that up, then he's doing critical damage. So you want to try and get your Wampa pretty fast, but you're focusing on critical damage. So then he just murderlates things.
All right.
What else? 73. Question: what are good teams to use for Sith Raid Phase 4? Only Traya left. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes .help only shows Phase 4 with Nihilus or Scion. Thanks for doing what you do.
Everything.
Yeah, you feel the kitchen sink at that point.
It's the kitchen sink phase.
There's
Literally,
no team that just. I mean,
nobody does a single team. It goes too
Either
fast.
Chewie lead, Cup, Ugnaught, Jedi.
I mean, whatever you get there, it's like all hands on deck.
Yeah. Anyone have any missiles left?
Yeah,
Fire
basically,
everything.
Everything.
The other parts of the raid, so phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4 with Nihilus, they're all based on how efficient you are. So you're trying to be as efficient as you can, and at that point you should have a lot of characters left with Scion left. And the rule is pretty much the same with Scion left, and then only Traya, with Scion and Traya left, and when Traya is only left. It's essentially it goes by so fast. It's literally whatever the top 5 characters are when you open the attack, and it just throws it in there. It's just those top 5 characters, and you just attack it. There's not much in terms of efficiency that you're waiting for.
But if you stare menacingly at Traya, you'll get more crit chance.
That's wrong.
I need to try that next time.
Yeah, I can see what happens. Let us know.
Yeah.
I will. Remind me about that.
Oh, speaking of which, I got rank 7 today, Ranger, and I only got 2 full pieces.
Are you trying to make me stab you, Finn? What is the...
Yeah, I got 8 and I got 2 full pieces. I got a bayonet and something else.
Oh, that's.
I got the cybernetics core and then a purple.
What did I get?
Stuff. All right, next question.
Darth Hideous. Question: how do you mod Darth Vader for a dinner party with Finn, Porg, and Ewoks?
What do you think?
With tenacity, because he's going to have to find some way to put up with us.
Yeah, no, he's just going to kill you.
I find your lack of barbecue sauce disturbing.
Oh, I got a Mark 12 gold stun gun. That's what I got as a full drop.
It was I who allowed this patty to have tuna salad with peas.
I like these.
Julie, question: how do you feel about the Android exclusive tune?
I'm on Android. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, people, y'all can be upset about that all you want. That has nothing to do with CG. That's straight up Apple.
Right.
There's
Here's
nothing
the
they
thing.
can do about that.
The funny part is the people that are on Android that should be more pissed off than the people that are on Apple.
Why?
Because Apple
Why?
people can use emulators. I linked my account to an emulator, so I have Android access, even though I'm on iPhone.
I don't. Well,
So?
you don't need an emulator.
So
Yeah.
you can
Oh
get
wow,
rid of it.
wow,
If they ever
Finn, great.
do an Apple exclusive event, Android users are screwed. You realize that,
That's
right?
okay.
Now that they introduced
Well,
the
since most of them are
cross-
Android,
My,
I'm not
my
caring.
Android phone actually comes with a headphone jack. I don't have to spend $30 on a dongle.
I don't either. I have a Bluetooth anyway, so it doesn't matter.
That's right. Yeah.
Who uses
And like
connected
Apple's gonna
headphones
have
anymore?
Yeah, that's right. I see. But I do have Bluetooth as well. Yeah.
Apple's not going to have any exclusive tunes. They're not going to pay for
I
that.
mean,
and
but yeah, honestly,
They did do the Ewok event a few years ago.
Google doesn't mind forking over extra cash to make their customers happy.
Nope,
Yeah.
and now Galaxy
is
Heroes gives us the
like
opportunity to
iPhone.
take advantage of that
So that's
anyway.
real-
I mean, but yeah, if you guys would be upset, I'm not upset about it because it's not like CG's doing this on purpose, right? If it was up to CG, they would, rock and roll and release to everybody because it just gets more chance for them to make money, right? But that has nothing to do with CG, and so I'm not going to be upset about it or rant about it because it's on Apple. If you have an Apple product, bitch to Apple. It's not Andrew's. It's not Android or CG's fault or anything. That's straight up the contract and dealings with those companies. And I mean, there's nothing.
Well,
they can do
they went
about
to
it.
Apple and asked them.
I mean,
The offer was laid out on the table, I'm sure.
yeah. I mean, if you really think that CG does not want to be able to release a character through Apple products, you're crazy. There's a lot of people that have iPhones. That's cutting into their revenue. They can't do anything about it.
Paul Bracamonte, question: what is the best ship team you've run into?
Home one,
Really, because I just don't.
three Geos, and then Biggs off the bench first.
Yeah, probably the Tarkin with the 3 Geos. I can't remember who was off the bench first. But not having Akbar, having Tarkin with his insta-kill makes him a little bit tougher than just surviving through Akbar waiting for yours.
I ran into an interesting team the other day that actually had a maxed out solo movie Falcon on it. And I was winning until the Falcon came out and completely annihilated my team by itself. So,
Yeah, I've heard it was good.
Was that a 7-star?
yeah, it was a 7-star with Gear 12 everything. I was like, oh.
Yeah, my pocketbooks don't run that deep, so
I can't wait to farm the characters in that ship after seeing that completely wipe out my team by itself.
So how good does the OG Falcon need to be when it comes now is the question.
But the OG Falcon has to be badass. I hope so. If we'll ever get it.
Still boggles my mind.
Next
on that
question.
Fame Kyrell, question: what do you guys think we will see in the next Road Ahead post at the end of the quarter? Maybe we will get hints that we are getting the Eternal Twins.
one. What did I tell you about screening these goddamn questions, Stanley?
If you're serious about it, I will.
I was very serious about that. You knew that was coming. You just went ahead and barreled in. You knew that. Why would you do that, Stanley?
That's what she said.
No, that's not what
I
she
foresee
said.
a lot of soon TMs on the road ahead.
Yeah, soon TM. There's my response because it's a terminal equipment.
Malik.
No.
Well, I'd love to see Malik, man. That would be awesome.
Jar. Just eat a Twinkie, Finn. Like, eat 20 of them in a row.
I have a box right next to me, actually. I'm eating one right now.
Oh, God.
Well,
Oh, Jesus, God.
No, you are not. Finn, are
I
you
am
really
following directions. I'm counting the calories on my Twinkie. Don't worry, Dana.
Yeah, we're in this together now, Finn, because I'm gonna be counting my calories too. And
Why?
I'm gonna
You're
hold you
such an
accountable.
itty bitty thing, Dana.
No, but I gained weight over the winter being up in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, right. What, you gained 2 pounds? Oh my God, the
No,
world's ending.
no, you saw. Okay, I gained 20 pounds.
That's just winter weight.
Yeah.
Twinkies are a lunch stream tweet.
Oh, God.
Ah!
You just feel after seeing treats. It's no big deal.
Headlines next week. Florida man dies from eating too many Twinkies.
Dies with a smile on his face. Next question.
And it shows a picture of Finn on top of a mound of Twinkie wrappers.
It was me with a picture of with me smiling with 2 thumbs up going, yes.
The miscount of the calories on that extra Twinkie and it killed him.
Is it only me wondering why is he buying them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't
Because
really
I have to use them for a video. I kind of just put the whole Twinkie in my mouth.
Oh, God.
How? I feel like that's a waste of calories. Like, if I'm going to eat something like that, I'm going to take my time and enjoy it, because I'm not going to, that's a lot of calories for such a little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Just
You definitely enjoy it. Don't worry. It's definitely You can get it to, like, squish in your mouth to, like, the size of, like, a gumball.
No,
and
Finn,
it's, like,
stop.
What?
You're just saying you like cream squished in your mouth. Stop it.
Oh, no.
The Twinkies. Well, I mean, the cream is delicious. I have to say.
Oh, okay. We're moving on. Next question, please.
He was packing fudge earlier.
Yeah, you
That's
see?
true.
Oh, my. Packing Rutabaga.
Packing fudge and Twinkie cream. Next question.
Skate Trooper Califragilistic Question: while farming Trez second Zeta, I have to run EP lead in arena. Who is the best fifth? Thrawn, Sith Trooper, Vader, other.
Nest.
Yeah, Nest. Nest is amazing, man.
Nest will just shut down their Sith Trooper every time that it's hit. She's hit. She goes and clobbers him and gets rid of the taunt. Frees everyone up. Nest.
Death Trooper. I'm a fan of Death Trooper. I don't care. I pull Sign out and run my Death Trooper when climbing. It's easier for me.
Well, Death Trooper is awesome too.
It's like a sack of Annihilate. You got extra cooldown increase. You got the days for Wampa and Nest to keep him from countering. Sith Trooper from countering. He's a good one if you got him geared. And you don't have Nest and you don't have one of the other tunes. Everybody's got Death Trooper by now, right?
Yeah, I might try that with York.
Next question.
Thane Cairo question: did Ranger turn into Hitler Ranger after losing this territory war?
No.
It hasn't finished yet.
He turned into the shard Nazi.
Give him
character shards for you.
Give him 13 minutes and
I
it will
forgot
be.
about that video. We can't show it because it demonetizes and brings on the video, but
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah.
That one was awesome,
Oh,
dude.
yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, we must have a repeat of that sometime.
Nathaniel Miller question: will we be getting a Ranger rant on T3 being Android first?
Nope. I think I answered that question before, so.
Thane Cairo question: when are we getting our Grim versus Ouchies drink on ships?
I don't know.
Well, we have to get the fight promoters involved, and
Grim,
there's a lot of
bad.
negotiations between the two camps. I mean,
Well, I can tell you right off the bat, I will lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
with that attitude, yeah.
There Gotta set
I would
it up
be
as a
very, very
pay-per-view
afraid.
event.
Yeah, seriously.
I'll be in Graham's corner. Loki can be in Ouchie's corner. We'll go at it.
There you go.
Paul Morgan, question: what are your thoughts on Sith Fighter and any foresight on Knights of the Old Republic ships?
Dana, what do you think?
What was the question?
The new Sith fighter.
Oh.
Are the
Honestly?
stats out for it now?
I've been on vacation, which means I haven't been totally paying attention to everything.
Mm-hmm. And you're
Hang on.
the president of the Guild Association.
Yep.
Tisk.
I know. I know.
I love
But-
healing the community.
There you have a life full of meaning and enjoyment.
Don't
Dana.
let Ranger get to you. Have a Twinkie.
I know. Oh my gosh, I could not do that. Not only are they not vegan, but I just couldn't waste my calories like that.
I think
Do
that's
they have
Fenrir's-
vegan
not gonna
Twinkies? I have to look
freaking
now. Maybe they do have vegan Twinkies.
Really? But
They
still, I wouldn't.
probably do.
Yeah.
Because if I bought them, I would eat one and then I'd be like, oh, that was really good. And then I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna have another one. And then like
you'll
2
be
days
like-
later, the box is
Yeah.
gone, and I'm like, all right, thanks a lot.
Then you
man.
and Finn are
Thanks,
holding each
Finn."
other in the corner crying.
I'm putting it in the YouTube
I hate
chat.
it all
They have
too. Why
It's
did you
called
do it?
Dillo's Cream-Filled Snack Cakes by the Cakewalk Baking Company.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, we're moving on.
Anyways, back on the question.
It's in the YouTube chat now. They're vegan Twinkies.
Stop it.
I like the Sith
Don't
Fighters
touch
kit.
me, Frodo.
Ah, you fool.
I didn't go anywhere near your Frodo, mate.
Boy, they.
What else? 73 question: what will Finn blame eating Twinkies on after the video is done?
Oh, there is no blame. I love me some Twinkies.
Okay, moving on. I think we could cover this.
Rutabaga.
Scooby, question: would you buy Talzin shards every time they show up in stores? It's for my alt. Got enough crystals daily to do it.
I wouldn't know.
Why are you buying shards for a character that's available in free-to-play?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a reason, I'm fine with it. If you're trying
you're
to
trying to get it
speed up your
faster,
Zeta
yeah.
acquisition or something, but as long as you have a reason, I mean, but normally I wouldn't buy it.
Mm-mm.
I'd say zombie over 1,000 if you're going to do that route.
You get 10 or 20 1,000 extra a month or so anyway, right?
Yeah, just doing the event.
Yeah, none of the above.
And we ran out of questions already.
Really? So that was
Back to the
Twinkies?
Sith Fighter. What does everyone else think of the Sith Fighter? Nobody really ever said.
Yeah, everybody's talking about Twinkies.
I like the Sith Fighter is interesting. So I think, I don't know if you guys watched it. Warriors video, I think, is the best assessment of it.
Yeah.
The stats are awful. Basically, it's like the worst stats of any ship in the game. The thing is, it has a kit that's really good. And the one thing about his kit, which is, I don't know
He
if it's
ignores
good
protection.
or bad. It negates Biggs. It's pretty much an anti-Biggs ship. But you need it at 7-star because it's really, really weak. So the fact that it's really weak makes it interesting. Because you won't be able to, maybe it's something that helps with, kind of like with the whole Bastila situation, how she's viable at 3 stars with the gear, and it's like overthrowing Emperor Palpatine teams, right? You can't do that with Sith Fighter, even if it's like a good counter against Biggs, unless you get them at gear 12. If you have a gear 12 Sith Assassin and you have a 7-star ship, the survivability of that ship is awful. And so it's not going to last long enough for it to be the counter to Biggs. So
Geos and Akbar too, because they recover a lot of health and protection.
They do a little bit, but again, if it's not maxed out, the Geos attack in multiples, so they'll take out the Sith Fighter in an instant. Like the ship because it has the worst stats, it becomes very easy to kill. It's very slow, but it has a kit that makes it so it's useful. So It's an interesting ship. I don't think it's going to be worth it to invest highly as a free-to-play. And only as a pay-to-play, if you're getting it to 7 stars, is it really worth investing in. Now, Sith Assassin is a good character, so I think it's worth it to work on it a little bit.
I think it's more
endgame. But, yeah, it'll be interesting.
Well, I think people don't really realize that the Sith fighter will benefit a lot from Maul's reinforcement on his ship. It'll give the Sith fighter plus 50% crit chance.
That's if it's still alive.
If it can make it that long. But
and Sith fighter doesn't crit.
Yeah, who's to say Nihilus doesn't, get a capital ship sometime and changes.
We'll have to see what's going on. There's some kind of plan here, but Warrior's assessment I thought was spot on.
Yeah, Sith fighter can't crit, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, it can't?
No, it's unique is actually that it cannot crit.
Oh, well, that's lame.
Well, I like how Warrior 2 was
like,
no, I mean, I must have missed that part. Oh, well.
God damn it, Grim, what did I tell you about reading? You want to be like, do you want to end up like Rondé? Is that what you want, Grim?
Oh.
Is that such a bad thing? He is a big deal.
Yeah, but he can't read. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Rondé has so much power in the world. I guess you have to give up something for it. I think he gave up reading.
I mean, there's a flaw in everyone, I guess.
Yeah.
Epic Haas questioned Finity. I propose a shout out to Casey Panda. His Bastila team is taking everything we got in our guild territory war.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Bastila team.
Shout out to Casey Panda.
Shout out to Casey Panda.
There you go.
Just get one of your guys to use a Gear 12 B2 and they'll wipe it out in one.
It's like the 6th territory we're clearing, so we're kind of drained a little bit, but I mean, we'll clear it probably here in the next few minutes. It's slowly getting worn down. I mean, I think people aren't just used to Bastila.
Yeah.
And plus, I had to overextend on defense because we had somebody that didn't put their teams on defense, so that didn't help.
Maybe they were eating Twinkies.
Nope. I put in all my teams. Somebody else didn't.
Still, B2 makes that team really easy to beat.
So does GK Bears.
Yeah, that too.
Nathaniel Miller. Question for Finn. When will we get more Mario RPG?
When do you want more Mario RPG?
Soon.
Okay, so there are a couple things. So I still have the emulator. I am
Why don't
done
you play
with
some Castlevania, man? Jesus.
Oh, God, yes. Dear God,
Mario
yes.
RPG.
Symphony of the Night.
Super Mario RPG.
Symphony of the Night,
like
man.
my favorite system.
No, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, man. Get that shit on there, dude.
Super Mario RPG is my favorite. But in any case, I have a meeting until 4:30 or so. I could potentially do some around 5 o'clock.
As long as I get my stuff I need for the
on my Amazon wish list, and I've been trying to find mine. So it's a weird thing. So I found my cable that lets me convert RCA into something that I can convert onto my computer, so I can actually play on my Super Nintendo. The problem is the cable that I had before converts it to a mini DIN 8-pin, which is an old connection for like one of my older computers, which now doesn't exist anymore. So on my wish list, I added an RCA to USB converter so then I can hook up my Super Nintendo. So I was hoping to get my Super Nintendo connected, but if you guys want to see the RPG stuff, I can play it later today. I should have time before the night stream. I just have to make sure I get everything set up for that.
All right.
That'll be cool.
So make sure you subscribe and
enjoyed
hit the
when you were
bell
doing
just
that.
in case I'm able to do it at 5 o'clock.
Eric Estrella. Question, how do you guys farm mods when developing a team? Do you buy them, farm them from challenges, or both?
Depends where you are.
Yeah.
So I started out farming a lot of mods, but also buying blue and purples. And golds, of course. But initially, when I was still trying to get good secondaries, I bought blue and purples. So I was doing that. And then once I got to the point where I had a good number of speed secondaries that rolled like 2 or 3 times with the blues and purples, Then I stopped buying, and then I just continued farming. And every now and then I would buy a gold mod from the store with fleet currency once that got introduced, and with regular credits. But now it's just straight farming. I haven't really bought mods too much recently. But it depends on where you are, what kind of mod you're looking for, because initially the green mods will help because you're guaranteed that 100% bonus. The blue mods are then the next ones you want to go to if you're trying to buy, because it gives you potential of 2 rolls at a high rate, purples at 3. So I'm looking forward to the update because I have a lot of mods that are blue and green and purple, I'm sure, once the update hits. So I'm excited.
Oh,
Okay,
it's Tori Knott's 21st birthday today.
Hey.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Tori. We
birthday,
can't sing
Tori.
the song because of copyright, but happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Finn is a butthole. Hey.
Nathaniel Miller, question: who thinks we're gonna get Malik as the Old Republic legendary?
We
And
could.
he'll get a Sith capital ship legendary to go with him.
Could. I could see that.
I think that would be awesome.
I could see that happening.
Yes, please.
All right. Is that all the questions?
One more.
Okay.
Thane Kyrell, question for Finn:
Oh, God.
why don't you get a Nintendo Switch so you can play some Mario Kart with the fans?
I could. I haven't bought a console in a long time. My last console was the original Wii, not like the Wii U or anything, just the Wii. And before that, it was. I can't remember which one I missed. I had the N64 before that, so I think I missed the Cube. I think the Cube was between the N64 and the Wii.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's
Yeah.
Nukin's
GameCube.
birthday, too. Happy birthday, Nukin. I forgot about it. Every time there's a birthday, it's always Nukin's birthday.
Yeah, I haven't done consoles in a while. I mainly do PC gaming and the old consoles. So that's pretty much why. I'm not necessarily opposed to it. I just haven't bought a console in a while.
All right. All right. It's 1 o'clock. We're just right after. So we're going to wrap everything up. Thank you guys for joining us. If you have more questions, just come join our Discord. It's linked down below. We have a community of over 1,000 people in there that will be more than glad to help you with any of your Galaxy Heroes questions. There's a lot of fun, different, areas that you can go in there, and people talk about all kinds of fun stuff in there. So it's a great place to meet, socialize. People that love Star Wars, love the game, love different other games as well. So if you haven't checked out our Discord, please feel free to come in. Especially if you have questions about Galaxy Heroes. There's a lot of support there for you. Make sure you like and subscribe, guys. It really helps the channel grow. It helps us monetize, helps us take care and pay for stuff, for supporting the channel. If you like what you see, why aren't you subscribed? Obviously, you like what we're putting out, so you subscribing just really helps us in the long term. Also, you can see I got the Patreon linked up. Finn did a great job of setting this up. So if you would like, you can go ahead and join our Patreon. We appreciate.
So I'll make a quick announcement on that too.
Okay.
So August 1st, we're introducing a bunch of new tiers onto the Patreon. So get ready for that. And for those of you that are Patreon subscribers before, at the end of the month, I'm making a special video for you guys that I'll be giving people more information about in the VIP chat in our RSG Discord. So if you want to get access to that and then now is the time to become a Patreon in order to see that. It does include spam and it does include Twinkies. Just so you know.
Oh, snap. Finn's going to throw up on stream. I can't wait to see it. All right. So remember, tonight is our weekly Star Wars Galaxy Hero Show. I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss. We'll have special guests on like we always do and have fun just hanging out and covering all the latest and greatest Star Wars Galaxy Heroes news and notes, and breaking it down and telling you what it all means. Also, remember, we do this lunch stream from 12 to 1 every day, Monday through Friday. Tomorrow we'll do some more Battlefront stuff. People are really enjoying that. We've been having Smithy coming by. We've just been slaughtering fools. It's been fun. We've just been doing some ridiculous stuff. We really have. And then Saturday, remember, we have our Jedi Academy. We have our Mature Channel stream. Sunday, we have the D&D campaign continuing. And if there's other stuff that you'd like to see us do, then come into our Discord or go into one of our videos and put that in there. I know we've got another video coming up Friday, Finn.
Yes, indeed. There's a video being worked on for Friday.
Mm-hmm. All right. So on behalf of myself and the rest of the RSG crew and the lovely Dana and all our special guests, thank you for stopping by. Thanks everybody in the chat. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tonight. And everyone be safe. Peace.
Peace.